All right, listen. If Mark Carney were anything at all like Donald Trump, Canada would be a much better place. way, way better. Like so much better you could barely even imagine. Maybe if Mark Carney had a modicum of knowledge about the things Canada has accomplished without the help of the international world, even before international communication existed, he'd brag about that instead of how much he spends on airplane food flying around the world doing a whole lot of absolutely nothing. And you know what? I don't care about Pierre Poilievre. If we'd elected Kermit the Frog, we'd at least be getting attention. Mark Carney can't even get us that. What an absolute waste of 5 years of everyone's time. What an absolute waste of democracy in action. Imagine if Mark Carney walked into a room and everyone stood up. Imagine if everyone wanted to shake Mark Carney's hand. Imagine if Mark Carney made a post on Twitter and people actually gave a shit. Imagine if Mark Carney opened his mouth and everyone made a video about it, no matter what he said. Instead, Mark Carney stands up and says, "No one pays attention to Canada." Yes, yes, Mark, we know. That's the problem. Our politicians are so weak, our tech sector is so confused, and our banks are so incompetent that absolutely no one talks about Canada. No one outside of Canada gives a shit about Canada. We wanted to be so much like Europe that we actively took steps to make ourselves globally irrelevant. And when you got elected to fix it, you decided to make it worse. Pathetic. It's pathetic. Thank you for coming back to Canada, Mark. Obviously, you thought Canada picked you because we wanted things to get worse. You couldn't crack this irony with a sledgehammer. July 14th, 2026. This is the original comic reporter, and I am so sick of the retardation. I'm done. So fucking done with the lowest common denominators in other countries spitting on Canada. I'm done. We are not the sum of our leaders. Our representatives don't represent us. Our leaders are determined, moralizing, our leaders are undetermined, moralizing, performatively empathetic douchebags. Yeah, we didn't know you could fit that much losing into a single building, but Canada found a way. Canada always finds a way to produce more losers we can put in charge. Why isn't the second biggest landmass in the world absolutely crawling with innovators and ambitious competitors? Why isn't it attracting investment at scale and building businesses that are the envy of the world? Is it taxes? No, probably not. No one fears taxes. No one fears that. No one fears putting money back into a country that benefits them. No company in the world that finds any amount of success fears that. Is it the weather? No, holy crap. Most CEOs and executives don't even live in the country their company is based in. That's how globalism works. You open a company in a place you don't live in because it's profitable and good employees live there. That's why you do it. No one cares about the weather. You're never going there anyways. Is it the absolute ambition-crushing politics and weak border controls from the accountability-allergic ministers of parliament and their knee-knocking, gobsmacked, slack-jawed empathy farming? Yes, yes it is. You could not write a script describing what exactly happened to the global power Canada used to be and make it less believable than what these failure-obsessed sacks of human waste decided was good for this country. You know, waste management has never seen a garbage dump it couldn't get in order until it got to Canadian Parliament and just noped out right to the States because some messes just might not be worth spending more time on. Oh, you think I have strong feelings about this? You think I have strong feelings about this? You think? Do you know how stupid you have to be to call Mark Carney polished and call the city of Ottawa dignified? Do you even know what dignified means? If you call Ottawa dignified, you're about as incompetent as they are. It's almost as bad as calling Mark Carney polished. The man crumbles under any question that didn't come directly out of the unprepared, acceptable, self-written bucket of protected answers. Seriously, Canada needs to stir the pot. We need to take this chicken broth media sector and add some jalapeno peppers and spicy curry and just go wild. It's not like things can get any worse. We can't really make this worse. We can't. Would anyone really notice if it got worse? No. We'd only notice if it got better. We'd notice if it got better, and then we'd get mad at it. You know what I get regularly? I get stupid, half dressed pictures of stupid whores in my DMs every damn day. Every damn day. And for a while, I entertained them by being polite and just remembering that there was another human being on the other end of the chat. I cared about their feelings, so I just nicely entertained them for a minute and then told them to nicely, please politely go away. But they never did. They just kept coming back. And it was annoying. But then I watched Canada make the biggest mistake it's ever made, and all my empathy just went away. Now, when I get a DM from one of those sluts on X or Instagram or Facebook or wherever they're pretending to want a relationship today, now I educate myself them on how I expect to be treated. And if they're going to waste my time, I am going to strip them of every ounce of dignity that they've ever had. That's the price. You scam me, I steal your soul. That's the cost. And you know what happened? The DM stopped. The DM stopped. They stopped asking for attention. They stopped asking for money. They figured out I was not the man they expected. They found out that extraction was not going to happen in this ecosystem. And it only happened because I refused to let them fuck with me. I stopped treating them like real people and started treating them like the useless, unemployable hacks they are. And not one of those performative skanks in my DMs ever intended to build anything meaningful. And I knew it, and you know it, and they know it. And that's exactly how I feel about Ottawa and most of the rest of the extraction system the world has built to treat Canada like a giant financial ATM machine. And you know, they'll be treated like the useless parasites. And so now they're just treated like the useless parasites they are. I hate politics. And yet it continues to find its way into my feed and decide how much success I'm allowed to have before it tries to use my success to pay for someone else's identity validation or rebuild a country that has had 10 times the time Canada has had to do something for itself for a change. There will be no more polite engagement. I'm going big, I'm going loud, and I'm going performative. And if that offends you, go find a wishing well or a crying room and beg for protection from whatever God you refused to worship until you found out I existed. You found God now, didn't you? Satan shows up and all of a sudden everyone's religious. But no one cares. No one cares about you until you make someone care about you, and no one cares what some limp wristed waste of a seat in Parliament believes about any of it. Canada's leaders aren't capable of generating global gravity. They don't use words or narratives that can get people excited about Canada. They refuse to speak in a tone that actually gets people moving. They can't make decisions that invoke action instead of anger. They refuse to do their jobs and make Canada glow on the world stage. You elected losers who take pictures in grocery stores and with convicted felons because they're afraid of looking like they might be able to get something done in this country. That's what you elected. That's who you put in power over and over again. Total waste of time and space who make more excuses than decisions. And you know what? You probably elected that because that's how you see yourself. Performative virtue signalers who have absolutely no relevance outside their own living room. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you trying to tell me that your way works or has any impact on anything that matters outside of being a pest on X or YouTube or on CTV. I don't care where it is. So yeah, when Mark Carney says no one talks about Canada, he's right. He's absolutely right. But he is the last one who should be saying it. He's a member of the class of people that made it true. It's not my problem. That's what we're trying to fix. Canada should not be an afterthought. We invented the telephone, basketball, pineapple on pizza. We populated and defended a massive country with 1/10 of the population the US has ever had. We served World War II. We won the war. We didn't drop the bomb, but we sure broke lines we never should have been able to break. That's what Canada is. We've done things no country our size should ever have been able to do, and now we're reduced to an afterthought by weak-ass parasites who keep getting into power because they won't rock the boat, even though that is exactly what Canada needs. Less fear, more action, and no one in power right now can sit there and blame anyone else but themselves. Did you see Olivia Chow stand up in front of Toronto and say, with a straight face, that the shootings on St. Clair Street were America's fault? Holy shit. Take some accountability, Olivia. You're one of the reasons this country is so weak. How about stopping the imports? How about strengthening controls? How about finding out how the guns are getting in and stopping them for a change? How about that, Olivia? How about that, Mayor Olivia Chow? Have you considered doing your job, Olivia? Have you thought about that? Because right now in your city, gun runner is about the best job anyone can get. Because right now, most of the Toronto economy is driven by people who run guns and sell drugs. That's what Toronto is right now. And it happened under you. How about Olivia has a little less alcohol, takes a few less bike rides, and starts cracking down on illegal guns finding their way into the hands of gangbangers in downtown Toronto? Does that sound fair, Olivia? Because everyone who voted for you thinks that's pretty damn fair. You know, if Canada had gotten weak because it had to, or it had very little, I wouldn't be so angry about this. If we were Poland or Estonia or Hungary or Mexico, I wouldn't be so mad about this. If we were completely dependent on imports like India or Brazil or France or little anywhere else, I would get it. I would get it. But we're not. We are a net exporter of just about everything, and still we're choosing to be morons about it. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with us? We're like a giant food bank for the planet. We're like a giant Walmart that decided to open a thrift store for the locals and a Chanel for everywhere else. We have so backwards, so damn backwards. Listen, if you're a politician in Canada and you don't think it's your job to put Canada back on the international stage like it deserves to be, you deserve to be voted out. You deserve to be shamed and plastered with insults until you find Canada so inhospitable that you can't help yourself but resign from your position so you have to move to Monaco and pretend like you were ever relevant on a stage you didn't build yourself. You need to be banned from ever using a microphone, and the word Canada should never come out of your mouth ever again without a massive fine. Because what I'm seeing from our Canada First unifiers is such a complete lack of backbone and intelligence. I can barely stand it. Followers, all of you, our head table is full of pretenders, and I don't know a single Canadian who isn't totally sick of it. No apologies. Good night.